I'm Abby Aceves. I'm a multidisciplinary artist. My practice is based on storytelling. I like making work that resonates with people, that they can see themselves in. So for fresh air, I brought a small oil painting that I had already started previously, but I wanted to bring something so people can see my practice. I also brought another piece that's more three-dimensional, the epoxy clay features to my work, so they can touch it and feel how it feels, how it sticks. People are always very curious of what I use, how I use it. So I thought it'd be interesting to also bring a smaller piece. And for me, I mean, it's very gratifying to actually have people interested in what I'm doing. I love storytelling, and I wanted to honor my grandmother, Elena, who I lived with half of my life back home in Guadalajara. And she's always telling me like, hey, take a picture with me with my plant or things like that. So I wanted to paint things that are important, that always remind me of home and that we did have, like the chicken and the birds. And I added a small slug. So the story about the slug is a long time ago, like 20 years ago, I got very sick. My throat was very swollen. I couldn't breathe through my mouth, through my nose. And like at 3 a.m, I wake up and I collapse. I'm fainting. I collapse, and out of the nowhere, my grandmother appears. And of course, grandmothers always know everything, right? She just opened, my throat so I can breathe. And of course, I had to be carried, to the hospital. I was hospitalized for like 2 weeks. So, after I recovered, I was like, what were you doing at 3 a.m in the patio with everything off? She's like, well, I was killing slugs because they eat my plants. So I was out there killing them with like a little flashlight. I was like, you do realize if it wasn't because you were out there killing slugs, you wouldn't have found me. When I told her about the painting and the things I wanted to incorporate, I told her, I am adding the slug. She's like, oh, I hate the and I was like, I know, but it's very important, and thanks to that, I'm still here. I think an important piece of advice that I would give is everyone's path is different. Don't compare. And this is a hard one because of course we all do it. I still continue to do it. I have to repeat it to myself as well. Don't compare yourself to other artists. I swear the spaces that you belong are going to find you eventually, sooner or later. If you're true to yourself, to your practice, the spaces you belong to will find you.
My name is Andrew K. Currey. I am a Los Angeles-based artist. I specialize in pencil drawings, and I am one of the artists here at Brea Gallery for the Maine, California show. So I brought a drawing from my studio that has been up on my wall for the past week or so, and so I've been working on that for fresh air at Brea Gallery. Most of the time I spent interacting with people and chatting with them, and the drawing just was something that happened in the background while I was talking to people, and they were sharing me the stories of their art practice, of how they either got into art or fell away from art, and what it means walking around seeing a show of artists from California. So my drawing for Made in California is a piece called Fools on Parade. This is a piece that was done in pencil and was kind of contrived from a lot of different sources, some being mosh pits, some being classical art pieces. I was heavily influenced by works by Francisco Goya and the viewpoint of a horde and madness of people. There is one character in the center of the drawing who is making eye contact with the viewer, and it's this small childlike figure with a crown that is completely being swallowed by the madness of the horde that he was meant to create or lead. So it's almost like this dark, humorous viewpoint where the self-possessed king is kind of just ensnared in all of his own trappings. So I have a background in art restoration. In 2009, I was part of the Lorenzo de' Medici School and their crew for art restoration, and I got to do hands-on restoration with 15th, 16th, and 17th century paintings. I take a lot of the techniques I learned from that time period and I apply it to my work presently today. I also spent some time as artist in residence in Shankill Castle in Ireland, where I learned gilding techniques of 12th century monks. And so I applied those same techniques forward to create work that is not only visually anachronistic, but in the way it is created to be a little anachronistic, of applying these old concepts and new concepts together to create something that is hopefully striking or moving at the very least. I come from a family, we did Ren fairs a lot, and we would go and do a full weekend, dress up, camp out at the Renaissance Festival. My background in doing art restoration and everything else was kind of a compelling desire for medieval artwork. I was heavily drawn towards medieval artwork, and I still am, and it kind of started to go hand in hand with what I was doing. I now use it as a way to kind of help to use symbolism and imagery into kind of having this same kind of fine art context of how we talk about imagery. And then every now and then it creeps up in very weird ways, like being the advertisement for the SoCal Pleasure Festival. Advice for any artist beginning their career is to not worry so much about where their artwork is going to go, and not try and make artwork for any kind of gallery in mind or any kind of curator or collector in mind, but to only make artwork that is moving for you. If you are at the end of the day making artwork and you are completely content with the idea that no one may actually see this, and you still have a desire to make it, and you're making something that's actually really good. Really good artwork is always going to find a way to walk out of your studio.